An 81-year-old man was sentenced to prison for cloning a sheep and creating a new species of giant hybrid sheep. A news story has been trending in recent days in the US and has already gone viral internationally. It turns out that an 81-year-old rancher named Jack Schubert was sentenced to spend 6 months behind bars. This was because he cloned and created a new hybrid species of sheep in Montana, USA. This man achieved his goal after a decade of experimentation, starting in 2010 and concluding the process in 2020. 10 long years may seem like a lot to some, but for such a process, it appears to be very little time. Schubert did this using tissue from sheep in Central Asia and combined it with American sheep to create a hybrid species of giant sheep he called the Montana Mountain King. Based on this, several questions arise, starting with who this man is. Arthur is a rancher from Montana who became known for this operation of cloning giant sheep. He was also the owner of Sun River Enterprises, LLC, a company that specialized in buying, breeding, and selling sheep and mountain goats to various groups interested in these animals. Thus, he held a significant position in that world. According to investigations, his experience as a rancher, access to cloning technology, and financial power allowed him to execute this operation. Of course, cloning a species is neither a simple nor a cheap process. It generally requires not only biological tissue, but also specialized laboratories and highly skilled experts. The cost ranged between $10,000 and $50,000, which, to be honest, is relatively inexpensive for him, as I mentioned, to clone a species. This leads us to the next question. Why did he do it? Arthur's primary motivation was to make a profit. The giant hybrid sheep he created were highly valuable to collectors who saw parts of these animals as trophies, such as their horns, which many proudly display in their country homes. The irony is that the investigation into Schubert began when authorities discovered he was selling parts of sheep from Kyrgyzstan. As a result of this investigation, they uncovered something even more significant. Following that, he was charged, and in March 2024, Schubert pled guilty to all charges. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a $20,000 fine. This is the summary of his sentence. Still, for many wildlife rights advocates, this sentence seems rather lenient. Schubert's age and his clean record may have influenced the court's decision when imposing his sentence. What do you think? Do you believe his sentence was fair, given what he did? It's incredible, but nowadays, from what I've seen, many people, especially those with high purchasing power, clone their pets to have genetically identical copies of the animals they loved. Would you like me to make a more detailed video on this topic? Let me know in the comments below.